Hi students, how are you? In last video, we have seen the formation of compound with the congruent melting point, that is general system. Today, in this video, we are going to see the example of that formation of compound with congruent melting point, that is ferric chloride water system. Now here this is two component system, because in order to express composition of each phase participating in the state of equilibrium, two chemical individuals, that is Fe2Cl6 and water, are required. That's why it is two component system. Now here, due to combination of these two, the compound is formed with a congruent melting point, and number of compounds are formed during this particular system, and these compounds are called hydrates of this Fe2Cl6. Several hydrates are formed on continued addition of that FeCl3. Now, which hydrates form during this combination? The first hydrate form, that is Fe2Cl6 12H2O. Another is Fe2Cl6 7H2O. Fe2Cl6 5H2O. Fe2Cl6 4H2O. That means dodecahydrate, heptahydrate, pentahydrate and tetrahydrates are formed due to combination of these two chemical individuals, Fe2Cl6 and H2O. Now actual component is FeCl3. Here we use double formula of that FeCl3, that is Fe2Cl6. Now what is necessary by using this particular Fe2Cl6? Why we need this particular? Now if you consider this hydrate, heptahydrate and pentahydrate, instead of Fe2Cl6, if we use FeCl3, then this hydrate become half of this, that means 7/2, that means 3.5 H2O. And for this, here we get 5/2, that means 2.5 H2O. That means fractional hydrates here we want to represent. And to avoid this fractional hydrate, FeCl3 can be written as Fe2Cl6, then that fractional hydrate is converted into full hydrate, that is 5H2O and 7H2O, and that's why we use double formula of that FeCl3, that is Fe2Cl6. Now this system can be studied with the help of reduced phase rule and the phase diagram of this FeCl3 H2O system. Now let us see the phase diagram of this system, that is temperature composition system. Temperature composition diagram. Now here we have 100% water, here we have 100% FeCl3, or you may write Fe2Cl6. Now if you consider here 100% water means here ice is there, solid component, and if we heat that ice will melt at this particular point A, and that point A is called as melting point of ice or freezing point of water. 0 degree centigrade is the temperature. Now on continued addition of FeCl3 in a molten mass of ice, then what will happen? The freezing point of water decreases or melting point of ice decreases along the curve AB, and therefore this curve AB is called melting point curve or freezing point curve of molten ice. On addition of FeCl3 in a molten mass of ice, what will happen? Ice will separate out and FeCl3 will pass in solution, and the system will come across this curve AB, and along this curve ice remain in equilibrium with solution, and therefore along this curve two phases are in equilibrium, ice and solution, and according to reduced phase rule, system is univariate. Now as soon as system will reach at point B, the solid compound separates out. As we have seen in a general system of this type, solid compound separates out. That means here, due to combination of water and that Fe2Cl6, dodecahydrate separates out. The new compound separates out at point B, dodecahydrate of Fe2Cl6. The previous phase is ice, then Fe2Cl6 12H2O separates out and remain in equilibrium with solution, and therefore according to reduced phase rule, the system is non-variant at this particular point. Now this is the point up to which the temperature of ice decreases. This is the lowest temperature with the help of this particular salt water system we can achieve, and that temperature is minus 55 degree centigrade. This is the lowest temperature with the help of this particular system we can achieve. Now if you consider content of B, this is non-variant point, and if you shift that content, then what will happen? The system will shift from this particular point B. As soon as system shift from this point B, previous phase get vanished, that means ice disappears, and along the curve BCD, two phases are remain in equilibrium, and these two phases are Fe2Cl6 12H2O remain in equilibrium with solution. Two phases remain in equilibrium with this particular across this particular curve BCD. Now this curve is called as solubility curve of 12H2O, 2-decahydrate. As two phases are in equilibrium, according to reduced phase rule, system is univariant. System is univariant because number of component 2, number of phases 2, and therefore according to reduced phase rule F is equal to 1. That means system is univariant. Now as we have seen in general system of this particular system, here the solid compound dodecahydrate remain in equilibrium with solution of varying composition. Now if you consider any temperature here, then at this particular temperature dodecahydrate remain in equilibrium with solution of X1 composition and also solution of X2 composition. That means dodecahydrate possesses two solubilities at this particular temperature, and therefore this is called retroflex solubility. Now this point C is called as congruent melting point of dodecahydrate, that is 12H2O. Dodecahydrate Fe2Cl6 12H2O, and temperature of this is 37 degrees centigrade. Now this here two component system become one component because here the solid phase and liquid phase can be expressed with the help of only one chemical individual, that is dodecahydrate, Fe2Cl6 dodecahydrate, and therefore this is at this particular point system is one component, and therefore according to reduced phase rule here degree of freedom is 0, and therefore this is non-variant point. Now as soon as we reach at point C, system will reach at point D. The new solid compound separates out. And therefore at the point D, new solid compound separates out. Previously Fe2Cl6 12H2 is there, solution also there, and now new compound, that is Fe2Cl6 7H2, that is heptahydrate, separates out at this particular point D, and temperature of this particular point is 26 degrees centigrade. That means at this particular point the third phase, that is solid compound heptahydrate, separates out. Now here at point D, three phases are in equilibrium, and therefore system is non-variant. This is non-variant point. Now if we heat content of this particular point D, previous phase disappears, that means dodecahydrate disappears, and system will shift from this particular point D and come across DEF, the curve DEF. Now this curve DEF, along this curve DEF, two phases are in equilibrium, Fe2Cl6 7H2O and solution. Along this curve two phases are in equilibrium, heptahydrate and solution, and therefore according to reduced phase rule system is a univariant. Now this point E is called as congruent melting point of heptahydrate. Temperature is 32.5 degrees centigrade, and here again system is non-variant because here two component system become one component, and therefore degree of freedom is 0 according to reduced phase rule. Now this is called as solubility curve of heptahydrate, that is Fe2Cl6 7H2O. Solubility curve of heptahydrate. Now, if we hit, at point F, as soon as system will reach at point F, new solid compound separates out. New solid compound separates out, and that is pentahydrate separates out. Fe2Cl6 5H2O separates out, and therefore at point F, 3 phases are there. Previous phase 7H2O solution and new compound that is separates out, that is 5H2O. That means Fe2Cl6 5H2O. As 3 phases are remain in equilibrium, it is triple point, and here system is non-variant according to reduced phase rule. System is non-variant. Now, the temperature of this particular point F is 30 degrees centigrade. Temperature of this particular point is 30 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now, if we heat content of this point F, then system will shift from this particular point F, and the system will come across this curve FGH. System will come across this curve FGH. Now, as soon as system shift from this particular point F, the previous phase get vanished. That means 7H2O disappears, and along the curve FGH, two phases are remain in equilibrium, that is 5H2O and solution. As two phases are in equilibrium, according to reduced phase rule, system is univariant. Now this point, along this curve, two phases are in equilibrium, and therefore this curve is called as solubility curve of pentahydrate, Fe2Cl6 5H2O, that is ferric chloride pentahydrate. Solubility curve of pentahydrate. Now this point G is called as CMP, that is concurrent melting point of pentahydrate. Now again, at this particular point G, two component system become one component. The composition of any phase can be expressed with the help of one chemical individual, that is Fe2Cl6 5H2O, and therefore this particular point is non-variant point. Here degree of freedom is 0. Now the temperature of this G is 56 degrees centigrade, and temperature of this H is 55 degrees centigrade. Now, as soon as system will reach at this particular point H, the new solid compound separates out, that is tetrahydrate 4H2O. Fe2Cl6 4H2O separates out, and therefore at the point H, three phases are remain in equilibrium. Previous phase 5H2O solution and new compound that is separated, that is 4H2O. Fe2Cl6 4H2O separates out. Now three phases are in equilibrium, therefore it is triple point, and therefore at this particular point system is non-variant. Temperature of this is 55 degrees centigrade. Now again, if we heat content of this particular point H, what will happen? If we heat content of this particular point H, then system will shift from this particular point H. That means previous phase get vanish. That means 5H2O disappears, and system will come across this curve Hij. The curve Hij. Now along this curve, two phases are remain in equilibrium, tetrahydrate and solution, and therefore according to reduced phase rule, system is univariant here. Now along the curve Hij, two phases are remain in equilibrium, and therefore this curve is called as solubility curve of tetrahydrate. Solubility curve of tetrahydrate. Now this is point I, which is called as congruent melting point of tetrahydrate. Congruent melting point of tetrahydrate. Okay. Again, this point is non-variant point. Discussion is same as that of previous CMPs. Now, as soon as system will reach at point J, the new solid phase separates out. New solid phase separates out. That is anhydrous Fe2Cl6 at point J. Previous phase is H2O solution, and now anhydrous Fe2Cl6, that is FeCl3, and anhydrous FeCl3 separates out at point J. As three phases are in equilibrium, system is non-variant at this particular point J. Now temperature of this I point is 73.5 degrees centigrade, and that of J is 66 degree centigrade. Now along this curve Hij, two phases are in equilibrium. We know that two phases are in equilibrium, that is tetrahydrate and solution. It is called as solubility curve of tetrahydrate, and as soon as we reach at point J, the new solid compound separates out, that is anhydrous Fe2Cl6, and therefore that point J is called as triple point, non-variant point. Now if we hit the content of this particular point J, then we will come across this curve JK. We will come across this curve JK, and as soon as system will shift from this point J, previous phase get vanish. That means tetrahydrate disappears, and along the curve JK, two phases are in equilibrium, that is anhydrous Fe2Cl6 remain in equilibrium with solution, and therefore this curve is called as solubility curve of anhydrous Fe2Cl6, that is FeCl3. Now as two phases are in equilibrium along this curve, system is univariant, and this is the point K, up to which that anhydrous FeCl3 passes in solution, and therefore this point is saturated limit of this FeCl3. Now this point K will not touch this particular axis because we cannot represent the melting point of salt, and therefore here this point not touch this particular axis. Now we have the entire phase diagram of this FeCl3 water system. Now this is a simple electric system. Here we have different simple electric systems as we discussed in a general phase diagram of formation of compound with congruent melting point, and this is all about the FeCl3 water system. Thank you. Yes.